Today, our topic is how to find strength in solitude. Solitude is often misunderstood. Many people think being alone is the same as being lonely, but they are not the same. Loneliness is a feeling of sadness because you are not with others, but solitude is a choice. It is a time to be with yourself, to think, to reflect, and to grow. Solitude can be a powerful tool if you use it well. It can help you find strength, clarity, and peace. Let us talk about how you can find strength in solitude and why it is important. First, let us understand why solitude is valuable. In our world, we are always busy. We have jobs, families, friends, and many responsibilities. We are always connected to others through phones, social media, and the internet. It is rare to have time just for ourselves. But solitude gives us a chance to slow down. It is a time to step away from the noise and distractions of life. When you are alone, you can hear your own thoughts. You can ask yourself important questions like, what do I really want? Or what is important to me? Solitude helps you understand yourself better. And when you understand yourself, you become stronger. One way to find strength in solitude is to use it for self-reflection. Self-reflection means thinking about your life, your actions, and your choices. It is like looking in a mirror, but for your mind and heart. When you are alone, you can think about your goals, your dreams, and your mistakes. You can ask yourself, am I happy with the way I am living? Or what can I do to improve? This is not always easy. Sometimes thinking about your mistakes or problems can be painful, but it is necessary. When you face your problems, you can learn from them. You can grow stronger and wiser. Solitude gives you the space to do this without distractions. Another way to find strength in solitude is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness means being fully present in the moment. It means paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. When you are alone, you can practice mindfulness by focusing on your breath, listening to the sounds around you, or simply observing your thoughts. Mindfulness helps you stay calm and centered. It teaches you to accept things as they are, without trying to change them. This can give you a sense of peace and control, even in difficult times. When you are mindful, you realize that you do not need to rely on others for happiness. You can find happiness within yourself. Solitude also gives you the opportunity to develop self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to control your actions and emotions. It is what helps you stay focused on your goals, even when things get tough. When you are alone, you can practice self-discipline by setting small goals for yourself. For example, you can decide to read a book, write in a journal, or exercise. These activities require effort and focus, but when you complete them, you feel a sense of accomplishment. This builds your confidence and strength. Over time, you will learn that you can rely on yourself to get things done. You do not always need someone else to motivate you or push you forward. Stoicism is a philosophy that can help you find strength in solitude. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot control. It also teaches us to accept things as they are, without complaining or resisting. When you are alone, you can practice Stoic principles. For example, you can remind yourself that you cannot control other people's actions or opinions, but you can control your own reactions. You can choose to stay calm and rational, even when things do not go your way. Stoicism also teaches us to appreciate what we have. When you are alone, you can take time to be grateful for the good things in your life. This can help you stay positive and strong, even in difficult times. Solitude can also be a time for creativity. When you are alone, your mind is free to wander. You can think of new ideas, solve problems, or create something beautiful. Many great artists, writers, and thinkers have used solitude to fuel their creativity. For example, the famous scientist Isaac Newton developed his theory of gravity while spending time alone during a plague. The writer Virginia Woolf wrote some of her best works in solitude. When you are alone, You can explore your imagination without fear of judgment. You can try new things and take risks. This can lead to personal growth and self-discovery. It is important to remember that solitude does not mean cutting yourself off from the world completely. It is about finding a balance. You can spend time alone to recharge and reflect, but you should also connect with others when you need support or companionship. The key is to use solitude as a tool, not as an escape. If you use solitude wisely, it can help you become a stronger, more confident, and more self-aware person. One of the challenges of solitude is dealing with negative thoughts. When you are alone, it is easy to focus on your worries, fears, or regrets. But you can learn to manage these thoughts. One way is to practice gratitude. Take a few minutes each day to think about the things you are thankful for. This can shift your focus from what is wrong to what is right in your life. Another way is to practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. Remember that everyone has flaws and struggles. You do not have to be perfect to be strong. Another challenge of solitude is boredom. When you are alone, you may feel like there is nothing to do. But boredom can be a good thing. It gives you the opportunity to be creative and explore new interests. You can try activities like painting, writing, gardening, or learning a new skill. These activities can help you discover new passions and talents. They can also give you a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Finally, solitude can teach you to be comfortable with yourself. Many people are afraid of being alone because they do not like their own company. But when you spend time alone, you learn to accept and love yourself for who you are. You realize that you do not need others to validate you or make you feel worthy. You are enough just as you are. This is one of the greatest strengths you can gain from solitude. In conclusion, solitude is not something to fear or avoid. It is a valuable opportunity to find strength, clarity, and peace. Use solitude to reflect on your life. Practice mindfulness, develop self-discipline, and explore your creativity. Learn from Stoic philosophy to focus on what you can control and accept what you cannot. Overcome negative thoughts and boredom by practicing gratitude and self-compassion. And most importantly, learn to be comfortable with yourself. When you embrace solitude, you will discover that you are stronger than you think. You do not need to rely on others for happiness or strength. You have everything you need within yourself. So take some time to be alone. Listen to your thoughts. Reflect on your life. And find the strength that comes from solitude.